species of birds in the world. The very groovy, curl-crested aracari. It actually looks like he has a perm. That's pretty. I don't think I've ever seen a bird with curly hair before. Or curly feathers. I don't know. Would that be curly hair or feathers? This bird has a futuristic looking bonnet and two perfectly curled tail feathers. Oh, that's interesting. Wilson's Bird of Paradise. So something you guys may not know about me too is that I'm not quite a grandma yet, but I'm 27 and I already love like bird watching. I think it's really cool. I have a bird feeder outside my window, and I don't know, I just really love seeing like cardinals and blue jays, and I don't see a lot of people my age like appreciating that sort of thing, and so I don't know, just makes me sort of feel like an old soul or something. The California quail, this bird has a little dangle thing coming off his head for a crying. Oh, thing coming off his head for crying out loud. So he's got like a dangly thing. I love owls. They're one of my favorite birds. Just beautiful. I remember seeing two owls perched in a tree one time while my husband and I were driving, and I made him stop the car because it was just like breathtaking for me. Where I live, we don't see a lot of owls. They're there, but they usually like come out at night, and unless you live out in the country, it's kind of rare to see them. But yeah, so birds live virtually everywhere on Earth, and encountering them is part of the universal human experience. A few bird species can even be found on every continent except Antarctica. So we have the barn swallow. Yeah, we have those here, can fly over 600 miles a day. The mallard duck, a classic cutie. We have tons of them here. Wilson's storm petrel, also found in Antarctica, can locate nest by smell in the dark. I'm not sure if we have these. My first guess would be I don't know. A barn owl only makes screeches, no hooting, preys on small animals like rats and voles, and swallows them whole. Oh my goodness. Owls are kind of brutal. Also, if you've ever seen one without other feathers on, they're really weird looking. But I still find them fascinating. The whimbrel, also known as an elephant bird because of long bill. I think that's really pretty. And an osprey has very intense eyes, like scary intense. Yeah, kind of. I can't think of if we have these where I live. I don't know. The most common species, oh my goodness, the most common species of bird found in the world is the chicken. There are about 20 billion chickens alive in the world at any time, which is about 3 chickens per human. The global chicken population outnumbers all of the planet's dogs, cats, rats, cows, and pigs combined, like a boss. I love chickens, partially because my son loves chickens. It was one of his first words, believe it or not. I know chicken's kind of a big word and he doesn't quite say it right, but he'll still go chicken, 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 I don't know. I'm trying to say it how he says it, but it's really hard because it's like chicken but without any of the vowels. So it's like chicken, chin. Oh, maybe it's just that chin. Yeah, it's like chin. Anyways, one cool breed of chicken from Java is as common where I live as you would think, though. We have a lot of seagulls where we live, and like robins and sparrows. Nicholas Tesla was famously known to be enamored of the pigeons in his New York neighborhood. He carried a bag of feed with him and made pigeon friends everywhere he went. In his later years, having never married, he made his feathery tribe the center of his time and attention. While he delighted in caring for all sick or injured pigeons, there was one female in particular whom he became obsessed with. When she was injured, he summoned his scientific powers to nurse her back to health, using all of the mechanical knowledge I invented, a device by which I supported its body in comfort to let the bones heal. I loved that pigeon. I loved her as a man loves a woman, and she loved me. As long as I had her, there was meaning to my life. Nicholas Tesla. I thought it was kind of cute until he said, I loved her as a man loves a woman. But I will look past that for the sake of this video. But it's nice that he cared for the bird. Some write Tesla off as a crazy eccentric, but maybe in some primal way we all feel a kinship with birds. High five, fist bump. Humans share about 60% of our DNA with all birds. See, that's pretty interesting too. But also, I sometimes think that Tesla was a bit crazy and eccentric for some of the things that he wrote about. But definitely not for taking care of birds. I think that's awesome. Our arms share the same types of bones as bird wings. Oh, that's interesting. Bird and human. Humerus, radius, ulna, carpals, metacarpals, phalanges. That was a really weird sound. Even though mammals have evolved separately from birds for some 300 million years, scientists have found birds and humans show striking parallels in neurological functioning. Avian brain mapping demonstrates that different parts of a bird's brain connect and interact with each other in ways similar to a human brain. For example, in both birds and humans, regions of the hippocampus, the area that is important for navigation and long-term memory, have dense connections to other parts of the brain, which implies that they function similarly. Oops, sorry. I think I'm gonna move this to this side instead. I just wanted a little, some type of decoration for the video. So I got this cute little, does it say what kind of plant it is? I don't know, but it's from IKEA. Just a little fake plant I got from my bookshelf. Despite having small brains, birds have densely packed brain cells in the parts of the brain where higher cognition takes place. Some birds have as many neurons as smaller-brained primates. A few examples of bird intelligence. The Eurasian magpie passes the mirror test, a tool used to determine self-recognition. Corvids can craft and use tools like bending a wire into a hook in order to grab something. Crows can distinguish between human faces and hold a grudge against those who have harmed them in the past. I seek revenge. You got this. Kias can use self-control and patience when working with a cooperative partner to solve intelligence tests. Oh, that reminds me. Another thing that really fascinates me about birds is I've watched like the, I don't know, National Geographic or other bird videos, and like, I think it's really cool how some of the male I guess when I really think about it, an egg is pretty neat. However, I'm allergic now, so that wouldn't be my first choice. Bird egg basics. In each nesting attempt, the female of most avian species lays one egg per day until she assembles a group of eggs called the clutch. Female turkeys lay a clutch of up to 17 eggs. FYI, a male turkey is called a gobbler. Each of these eggs is a miraculous, self-contained life support system that protects a single life within a hard shell. All eggs need in order to incubate is oxygen and warmth. Interestingly, birds don't have to incubate their eggs right away. If they want, they can wait until a whole clutch is laid and then incubate them all at one time so that their chicks will hatch together. The incubation period takes some birds a few days, others a few weeks. Bird eggs are wonders of nature. A stunning cosmic artistry is revealed through their diverse coloration and mathematically perfect form. A brown hawk owl. This egg is an almost perfect sphere, and looks like a ping pong ball. The glossy ibis, the blue and green pigment in bird eggs is also in human blood and causes the green color in bruises. A banded stilt. European golden plover, a robin, now a popular paint color, robin eggs blue. Akira cuckoo, an emu. This is the second largest egg in the world. Ostrich eggs are the largest. This egg's coating is glossy and iridescent. The great dynamo, Victoria's rifle bird, bee hummingbird. This is perhaps the smallest bird egg in the world. It's so cute, smaller than a penny. A great power bird. It looks as if it was painted by Jackson Pollock. Oh, that's really kind of cool. Well, this one's really cool too. I mean, they're all cool. A cassowary. Birds have more color receptors in their eyes than humans, 4 photoreceptors, or cores, to our 3, and therefore they can see parts of the ultraviolet light spectrum that are totally invisible to us. Whoa. Their cones also contain a droplet of oil that may allow them to see even more colors, so these already artful eggs may shine more brilliantly than we can possibly imagine. Under ultraviolet light, chicken eggs glow a volcanic red. The goldcrest is Europe's smallest bird. She cranks out a clutch of 9 to 12 eggs, laying about 1 per day, which in total amounts to about 1.5 times her own body weight. That's like a human giving birth to a new 15-pound baby every day for nearly 2 weeks. No big deal. Some birds, like the brown-headed cowbird, are broad parasites. The winged brood will land in another bird's nest, knock out one of the eggs already laid there, and replace it with her own. The foster parent will in turn end up raising that cowbird's chick, sometimes to the detriment of her own chicks. If that host bird rejects the new egg, the cowbird will seek a violent revenge and destroy the host's whole clutch of eggs. We have redwings where I live that are similar to this, or maybe we have cowbirds too, but I was pregnant. Ostriches can weigh up to 400 pounds. Whoa, I did not know ostriches were that big and grow as tall as 9 feet. So basically, an ostrich egg needs to be strong enough to withstand the weight of a sumo wrestler sitting upon it. Bird eggs are used all over the world as symbols of cultural and religious significance. Early Orthodox Christians in Mesopotamia dyed hard-boiled eggs red to symbolize the blood of Christ. A hard-boiled egg is part of the Passover Seder plate in Judaism. Ukrainian Pisanki is a batik-style painting tradition passed down from mother to daughter since the pre-Christian era. That's really pretty. Eggs are incorporated into the haftasin, symbolic table decoration that many contemporary Persians assemble every spring for Nowruz, New Year. Faberge eggs are blinked out jeweled eggs that the Russian Tsars commissioned jeweler Peter Karl Faberge to create every Easter between 1885 and 1917. The 57 surviving eggs each sell for millions of dollars. They have real diamonds in them. As a universal symbol of religious renewal, ostrich eggs have been used to decorate Orthodox churches, synagogues, and mosques. Ostrich eggs on the top pillars of the Great Mosque of Djinn Mali. They hang from chandeliers in the Ottoman-era mosques of Turkey. In many Coptic churches, an ostrich egg hangs above the main sanctuary door. A chandelier in Etsaim Synagogue in Greece. Ostrich eggs were reported to hang inside ancient synagogues in Sicily and Yemen, and in Ottoman-era Turkey and Greece. Ooh, super pretty. Feathers. Those who contemplate the beauty of the earth find reserves of strength that will endure as long as life lasts. Rachel Carson. Seeing these feathers just made me think of the book, Where the Crawdads Sing, or something like that. I can't believe I forgot the name of the title. I think it's Where the Crawdads Sing. The girl, she collects all the feathers and the shells and stuff. Bird feather basics. Feathers are some of the strongest, most lightweight, and flexible biological structures found in nature, and birds are the only living creatures on Earth that have them. All feathers have the same basic structure. There's the central shaft, or rachis, the calamus, the hollow shaft at the base, the vein, barbules. More than 1,000 tiny barbules branch off each other, or off of each barb, locking barbs together. Barbicels. Even tinier barbicels come off the end of each barbule to tightly seal barbs and barbules together. This ingenious interlocking structure is what makes a feather water resistant. The average single flight feather is composed of more than 1 million tiny parts arranged in perfect alignment. Rule of thumb: ladies are drab, and guys are fab. Yeah, that's pretty true, honestly. That used to bug me as a little girl. feathers serve multiple purposes. They shield against UV light, insulate for warmth, provide camouflage, deflect water, and in most birds, they are used for flight. This creepy cute tawny frogmouth chick is covered in fuzzy insulating down feathers. Feathers are also used. Okay then. unless this is like reptile skin. Is it just me, or would you think like an alligator or lizards were closer related to dinosaurs? That would be my first guess, rather than a chicken or birds. Anyways, it has a monumental head crest, cold hard reptilian stare, has been known to kill humans. What? 5-inch claw on foot, looks exactly like a dino called Corythoraptor jacobsi. Looks kind of like a turkey to me. Feathers in human form. Indigenous and Aboriginal people the world over have placed. I feel like I read that wrong. Feathers in human form. Indigenous and Aboriginal people the world over have placed great significance on feathers in the past and in the present. 10. Elaborate feathered crowns worn by members of the Bamiliq tribes of Cameroon, reserved for royal families, warriors, and kings. Sorry if I'm saying these wrong too, by the way. I'm sure I'm not saying them right, but I am doing the best with what I know. The Nkuraru, an ostrich feather headdress historically worn by a male Maasai warrior before completing the rite of passage of killing a lion. What? They would kill a lion? That's sad and also crazy. Like, crazy dangerous. The Dwari, the iconic headdress of the Aboriginal peoples of the Torres Strait Islands, Australia. A war bonnet, feathered headdress usually made out of eagle feathers and worn by Native Americans belonging to some Great Plains tribes. They are traditionally reserved for males of a certain status and are considered very sacred. Feathers are decadently displayed around the world during Mardi Gras and carnival festivals. That reminds me of our trip to New Orleans. We went right after Mardi Gras. I think we were there the day after. And New Orleans is, apart from Mardi Gras, because I didn't get to experience that there, but it's just really a cool place to visit. There's so much cool stuff, and we went on all of these like historical tours. I was really surprised by how fun it was. Flight, and how cool the place was. Like all their old buildings too. It was just really neat. Birds represent a link to both our natural environment and to the possibility of freedom to soar without boundaries. since birds aren't hindered by immigration checkpoints or border walls, they fly freely across national boundaries, reflecting the interconnected nature of all ecosystems and the oneness of our shared planetary homeland. Gosh, wouldn't that be nice if we were all just like birds and free and could just like go from one place to another? Many species migrate on specific corridors called flyways that generally run between the north and south. For example, about 5 billion or 90% of the birds who breed in the boreal forests of northern Canada migrate south every year. The palm warbler, just one traveler on the north-south flyway. Flyaways from the boreal forests. We got all them different routes. The eastern flyaway, central and western. The migration journey is brutal. Birds are battered by storms when in flight, and they may find their stopover sites have been unexpectedly destroyed by humans. Oh, that is so sad. They may also discover themselves prey to domestic cats, one of the top human-caused threats to their existence. See, nature is so brutal, and the migration is so dangerous that only half of the most migratory songbirds survive their route and are able to return the following breeding season. That is really, seriously, so sad, guys. So sad. Like, why is nature so brutal? It is not fully understood how birds navigate. Research has shown that they use both natural and man-made landmarks and orient themselves at night with the help of the moon and the stars. Bits of iron in their inner ears may help them to orient themselves like a compass, and specialized proteins in the cells of their eyes allow them to actually see Earth's magnetic field. So basically, they have superpowers. That really is super cool, though. I just keep thinking, like, the most random things keep popping up in my head. Now I'm thinking about spiders, and you know how they have, like, so many different eyes. Like, when they see out of all of them, do their brains combine it together to be, like, one image, like ours? Or do they see, like, separate pictures? I'm sure it's, like, one picture. I don't know, guys. It's, like, midnight. I'm thinking weird stuff. The Arctic tern is a freakishly fit, pocket-sized powerhouse that weighs about as much as a bar of soap, 100 grams. Arctic terns have one of the longest known migrations, flying an average of 44,055 miles, or 70,900 kilometers from the Arctic regions to Antarctica, and then back again a few months later. Example of a flight path. That is insane. That is seriously crazy. Looks like there's like a dragon on the land there, and then this looks like a creepy guy's arm, like a troll or a monster, something like waving at us. Can't stop, won't stop. The bar-tailed godwits gorge themselves for weeks until they double their body weight. That sounds like me. The excess chub enables them to survive as they fly some 7,000 miles non-stop without eating or drinking. That does not sound like me. From the Arctic, Siberia, or West Alaska to eastern Australia or New Zealand, the ultra-intense These birds eat, drink, and do everything else on the wing. Even the lazy ones who stop occasionally to rest for a few minutes still spend 99% of their time in flight. Whoa, whoa, whoa. For real? How can swifts stay aloft for so long? Research has shown that birds can rest one hemisphere of their brain at a time while flying. Unbelievably, they can even shut down both sides and enter REM, a state characterized by total muscle relaxation while coasting on the wind. That sounds super dangerous. And also, for the resting one hemisphere of your brain at a time, that doesn't sound like you would get enough rest. Like, sometimes part of sleeping is just like shutting down for the night. You know, not having to think or worry about anything. It would be horrible if you had to, like, shut one half of your brain down while the other half of your brain is still like doing dishes or something, you know, but it's fine because you're rested, but you never got a real break. The bar-headed goose is among the highest flying birds, passing directly above the highest peaks of the Himalayas, upward of 27,000 feet on its migration route. That's higher than a helicopter can fly. The birds have to withstand frigid temperatures as low as negative 58 degrees Fahrenheit. And negative 50 degrees Celsius, and extremely low air pressure at that altitude. I don't know if my commentary is annoying or not, but I just am really thinking out loud tonight here. I also just, does it blow anyone else's mind how animals can just like survive outside in the harsh elements? Like, it'll be absolutely freezing here where I live in Wisconsin. We don't get negative 58 degree weather, but we do get like in the negatives, and we'll have snow, and I'll just look out my window and we'll have like a bunny just like taking a nap. I don't know how they do it. Like, I know they have fur, but still, I feel like they should be cold. Just thinking about it, I'm cold. I have goosebumps a little bit. And it's 70 degrees in my house right now. So yeah, I really don't know how they do it. One of the most there's some truth to Harry Potter and the owl delivering messages. The ancient Greeks used pigeons to spread news of the Olympics. Okay, so it's just in general. That's more believable. In the 13th century, Genghis Khan used a pigeon post system throughout Asia and Europe. Now that's more hard to believe. How do you get a pigeon to go where you want it to go? During World War I, carrier pigeons were delivered to the front lines in baskets. Once there, soldiers would attach messages to the birds, who would then fly home to their coops behind the lines. During World War II, a military unit called the United States Army Pigeon Service consisted of about 54,000 war pigeons. The birds had a 90% success rate in transporting messages. How do I not know this? How was I not? Were we taught this in school and I just forgot? The Dickon Medal, the People's Dispensary for Sick Animals in the United Kingdom, awarded 32 pigeons this medal for animal bravery during World War II. War heroes included Winky, Tyke, Mercury, Gustav, Mary, and Patty. I love that. That's cool. Bird flight symbolizes freedom and the ascension of the soul. For centuries, Zoroastrians carried out a funeral rite in which they lay their dead outside in a raised structure called the Tower of Silence. Bodies were left there to be consumed by birds of prey, particularly vultures. This offering of one's body as nourishment for the birds is seen by Zoroastrians as a final act of charity. This tradition is still practiced today among some groups, such as the Parsis of India. Birds in love. This page is really pretty. The natural world is the greatest source of excitement, the greatest source of visual beauty. It is the greatest source of so much in life that makes life worth living. Sir David Attenborough. Birds love basics. Birds display some of the most bizarre and eccentric